Well, Steve, today we've got another news item. Ding, 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 ding. You've got a news item that you pulled from a little different source, and I have one as well.
Yep, statistics on jobs and something unique with trading.
That's right. So take a listen to this. I think you're going to enjoy it.
All right, Steve.
Oh, good day, Steve.
Today is Tuesday,
Tuesday.
and it's time for...
The Steve and Steve Show. I'm Steve Wostenberg.
And I'm Steve Walsh.
Welcome. We want you to do one thing. That's all we ask is one thing. And I'll bet you don't know what that is. Hit the like button. Smash it. Knock it out.
Smash the like button.
But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it does help with our algorithms, and so if you are a fan of the show, then help keep the show on by getting more fans. So hit that like button.
Thank you.
All right.
So ours is news. You got some news. I know you're chomping at the bit.
Off-topic news.
That's
things
right.
you wouldn't necessarily find on TV or a regular newspaper.
Oh, Okay.
So last time I went first.
Okay, I'll go first. So my news, I think, is pretty off topic unless you're out there actively investing in stocks. One thing that isn't off topic, though, is the idea of those folks out there, the young people that are the Wall Street bets traders that are out. You've probably heard about them on mainstream media. And they go out and they find certain stocks, and via social media, they really work to build that stock up quickly. And it's usually a stock that larger organizations, meaning hedge funds and things like that, are what we call shorting or selling them down. And so they're selling them down, and the meme stock guys, the Wall Street bet guys, are pushing them up through the roof, and it creates this incredible, battle, but also creates a ton of momentum for those stocks. And there's two of them that are quite famous, three really, GME, which is GameStop, and AMC, which is AMC Theaters, and BB, or BlackBerry. And those have been kind of the classic stocks of Wall Street bets and the meme stocks out there.
So are these the... I think what the term I heard was like the squeeze play.
They're squeeze plays, so exactly.
There's a group of investors out on, I think, like Reddit and a couple other boards that they kind of informally organize a particular time where they kind of do a bunch of purchasing.
Buy. All they do is say, "Hey, let's buy this. Hey, let's buy this." And the groups are rather large, so they're not buying a ton of stock, but they're a lot of people buying it, and it tends to send via supply and demand. Well, anyway, so those are the three that are most well known, and those three stocks really don't have great fundamentals, Steve. They've been kind of troubled over the last few years, which is why these other groups want to short them and say they're going to go bad, so we're going to short them and make money on the downside of them.
And shorting would, when people say shorting in the stocks, just to kind of do a quick education for that, what does that mainly mean?
So when someone shorts a stock, they're saying they're actually selling a contract, not a contract, but they're selling the stock at a lower price. So instead of going in and don't do this at home, but instead of going in and buying the stock at, say, $20 and then hoping that it goes to $50, they're going and selling the stock or getting a credit at, say, $15 in hopes that it drops even further below that $15, and then they can buy that and make the difference.
So they're betting that it's going to go down.
They're betting that it's going to go down, and they're betting, and betting is the right word, because some of these groups are betting big bucks. And in fact, there's a small hedge fund that went bankrupt. Because when you do something like that, you're actually borrowing typically from the brokerage to get that credit on what you've sold the stock at. Well, if that starting going through the roof, it's potentially an infinite loss. You have to stay as long as you've sold that.
So to kind of get back to your
topic.
I'm sorry. Because what So what's the news component? Now we know that there's the squeeze play, there's the meme stocks, that group pushing forward, there's some shorting going on. So what's the
So in
news
my
topic?
case, the news is these are not, so I found a couple of stocks that I really liked the fundamentals in, and I decided to go into these. I did not realize that they were kind of trending out there as meme stocks as well. So frankly, I didn't even go into them like that. I just came across them, liked what they were doing, liked their fundamentals, and liked the technical analysis that I did on them in terms of the trend that was happening. And so I got into them, and after the fact, I found out that there were a number of the meme stock buyers out there that were jumping on these because there was a squeeze as well. And so I kind of got a little bit of a perfect storm on it, Steve, and created, the strategy in my book and the property trading strategy. I created a real property out of one of them, so all my capital's out free and clear. I made money on it, and I still got it in there to ride it until it goes to wherever. And then another one, I just flipped that one for some profit, and very nice day on pretty much non-news, if you will.
Right. So the news part of that
is that whole meme thing.
The meme. So the meme stock that's when you get these groups that are out there on these forums that say, hey, let's go pound on this one, right? Mm-hmm. And they know, they can look and see that there's contracts out there that would be in a particular situation. They say, let's pick on this one.
You're right. But the cool thing about this was I didn't go in kind of following the herd. Right. I kind of got ahead of it.
You found a nice stock. You liked the company. You liked what they were doing. It was at a nice buying price.
And it was moving nice, the nice trend line.
And you got lucky that the meme groups decided that was the one that they were going to go after. And
That's
so you
right.
caught the wave early.
I did. So the memers made a big wave.
Not something that happens every day.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I don't think, and I'm not going to go out and look for specifically that, because those kind of momentum plays can bite you real quick too.
Yeah.
So that's my news. It's
all right.
Kind of
So
off news.
if you like Steve's news, you're probably wondering what that was. But if you're curious on anything that he just mentioned, put a comment saying, very interesting, Steve.
Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more. Right.
And he'll contact you probably in a private message and get a conversation going. So
Absolutely.
All right, so let's switch gears.
Perfect. Let's do. What do you got? Oh, by the way, we never said what we have here.
I know it's
strange
an
stuff.
Orange drink.
It's orange soda.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Probably won't be finishing that.
So this one is all right. So the article I have is from Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
So a little bit mainstream.
Yeah, not exactly offbeat, but still.
But something I don't think will show up on TV or news. So we'll use this article. But the title of the article with the Wall Street Journal is "How to Quit Your Job Gracefully."
How to quit your job gracefully.
Yeah.
Not how to get a job gracefully.
No. But
okay.
We're not going to talk about the article. There's actually the beginning part of the article I found fascinating. So we're not going to talk about the graceful part of quitting your job. Although if somebody wants to do that, they can certainly reach out to me and I'll help them get through that part of their job.
Sure.
But what I found was interesting is there was two surveys in this article that kind of sets up the rest of the article, but the points of these articles. So I'll just read a little bit to you, but it's a wave of employees looking for promotions. Better pay and more flexible working arrangements says in the survey that they will be seeking new jobs in the coming months. About 26% of the workers said they would search for a new gig when the threat of pandemic decreases, according to Prudential's Pulse of the American Worker Survey.
Interesting.
And that was conducted in March. So
this year.
Yeah. So 26% of those workers are unhappy. Well, and admitted that they're going to look for
or going to look for something else.
Yeah.
But you companies out there, you tech companies out there, that's an interesting stat.
This is Prudential's Pulse of American Workers, so it's a bunch of variety of folks, right? So 26%, and that was in March. But you mentioned tech, so let's go to a tech. The second survey is more geared towards the tech because it was conducted by Microsoft. So this part says workers around the globe are sending similar signals. More than 40% of those responded to Microsoft's Work Trend Index, a global survey of over 30,000 people in 31 countries conducted in January, said they were considering leaving their employer this year. So you got that
40%, and this is Microsoft saying this.
Yeah.
In the global
So you got
workforce.
26 to 40% of the workforce are going to be looking for a new job, or that they're planning on leaving their job.
So that's a. I wonder if there's precedent for this. I mean, I'm sure there is somewhere, but I don't recall it in my work life. Do you?
Well, in my field, it's people change
Right.
jobs
You
all
have
the
a
time.
lot of people not running in and out, and I mean, I've certainly had that kind of some sort of turnover, but not to 40%.
40% is high, right?
That's
I mean, that's
huge.
if it was a one company and they lost 40% of their workforce,
Wow.
there's something wrong going on with that company, right?
Right, and think of the amount of, it's one thing to lose those, and there are probably people running from one company to another company, so it's not like they're going to net lose employees.
Right.
But that training,
Well, it makes-
bringing people up to speed.
So it makes you wonder, was with the pandemic, was that the stick that stirred the beehive, right? That, hey, I need to do something different.
So this was building up your thing.
Maybe, because I think there's a natural, there's like that 5% turnover rate for a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Right, but this is 40% overall so it kind of indicates that probably a third of the people are going to be looking for jobs in at least the tech side, right?
Yeah, so that's a big deal. I wonder if this is something that has to do with loyalty, or if it's just impatience, if it's a different generational thing.
Well, I think there's a number of factors, but if I were to pinpoint it, I would say that a lot of the management.
Okay.
If managers are not trained right on how, they get the job, they're pressured to hit certain numbers or metrics or get projects done, and that becomes their goal versus taking a look at the human that's actually
Right.
delivering. So they put pressure on these people, and the people put up with it, but they're not happy in a general sense. And so where do they look? They look, okay, the thing I can change is my job. So
Okay.
Interesting, huh?
That is interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I certainly know when through my work career, it wasn't hopping from one job to another. That just wasn't the way that I did. Now, a couple of them where we created our companies, but even at the times that I was working for somebody else, there was a sense of dedication to what we were doing.
Well, there's a
But
whole.
then again, I think you're right about the management. Management was different.
It's a key part, right? If
There's this attitude now.
It's not necessarily all about the money. It's about recognition. Being
Balance.
favored. Yeah, the balance of how do you look at things, and so I think there's a lot of factors that go into people's decision to leave a company. But I think a good portion of that is from their immediate managers. Maybe they're getting ignored. Maybe they're getting pressured too much. Maybe they're being asked to do things that they normally wouldn't want to do. But certainly, it indicates 26 to 40% certainly indicates that a third of the workforce out there is unhappy with their current job.
It would be interesting to kind of do a study on the management and see if there is, if managers have gotten so tied into drilling into big data and putting out statistics on how this would work, and they get that separation from the human element of the job, as you're saying, that maybe people are just saying, I don't even feel like I'm part of this. I'm a cog in the wheel.
Yeah,
and that could be part of it.
Yeah, I don't know what the real.
It'd be interesting I know some managers I want to talk to about this. You've piqued my interest.
All right. So the goal at the end is to see who had the most interesting news.
Of course, mine was the most interesting. You all know that.
So if you liked my article, my topic, and my information I just provided, go ahead and comment in the comments, jobs. And if you like Mr. Wostenberg's topic about the trading memes and doing the squeeze, go ahead and put trading in the
Not
comments.
Squeeze?
You
Yeah.
could put
No,
do trading.
do
I think
trading. Let's do that.
Do trading. And if you like both of our topics, just say you guys are awesome
Yeah.
in the comments. But we certainly would appreciate you doing the vote because that'll settle the bets that we have on the side.
All in
If we have any.
Satoshis.
Yeah, that's right. So, all right,
Okay.
until next week, enjoy your week, and thanks for watching us.
Cheers.